ask you a question?
Yes.
That you did put a picture that was kind of cryptic on Harder Brunch. It was a beautiful picture of it looked like a Nintendo game and someone looking at a giant burger in the sky.
Oh yeah, Zach's been doing a lot with the AI art. Have you been playing around with that at all?
My buddy Rambo just put me onto an app that does it, so I'm kind of starting to like
Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo Hustle. Angelo Martinez. He's a
you gotta get that John Million.
Yeah,
I mean, like with names like that running around, like you got
John Million and Rambo.
You can't.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, I was playing around with an app, just typing in random shit, seeing if it would draw something cool.
I made a joke about because you said you weren't a huge fan of beets, and Zach was like, "Hey, is there any other?" We always ask, "Is there food allergies or whatever?" And I said, "Yeah, no beets, no." And so if you're doing a Terminator 2 with beets, don't do it. And then like a minute and a half later, he sends me back this AI art, and it's like the Terminator with like beets growing out of his head, and he's got like instead of blood splatter, it's like beet splatter, and I was just like, that is scary how quickly you generated that.
It's nuts. I typed in like Kermit in the studio, and it was like perfect. It was just him at a mixing board. It's wild.
For our listeners, is there a specific AI that you want to use for pictures? Because right now I've been using Bizarre Art. And I feel like you're getting some pictures that are great, and somehow
Zach you pay for yours, right?
So yeah, I'm paying for Midjourney, which is really good for like it's some of the more creative ones. But like if you're gonna do photos, I think it kind of depends because I don't know. This is a boring conversation for right now.
No, I like it.
But if you wanted to get like photo, like especially like of yourself, right? Then you would want to like use Stable Diffusion and train it against a bunch of photos of yourself in order to kind of get a better like photorealistic effect where you didn't have extra shit growing out of you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for that.
I got one called Imagine.
Oh, you got Imagine?
Yeah, but if you don't pay for it, they just throw ads at you. It's so annoying.
Too many ads.
Too many. I feel like apps are getting really aggressive with the ads if you don't pay.
It's only $50 a month.
Yeah,
Just pay it.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is I'm like half scared and half excited to see what comes out because I feel like the first everyone's knee-jerk reaction is like, AI is gonna turn against us and there's gonna be an uprising, but already you can see like all the cool new like art forms and stuff, like people are doing like some interesting stuff with it. I've seen it used like for like promotion and stuff like that. Like I think it's gonna enter like kind of all walks of life. Like I think it's gonna enter the music space, the art space,
for sure.
Like I'm hopefully cautiously optimistic, I guess would be a good word for it.
I mean, it's just like most things. It's going to be in the hands of whoever's using it, in terms of what it's going to do. There's definitely AI mixing in the music world now and mastering.
What?
Yeah, like you can plug in records to mix audio, master it.
When you think about it, like we've had elements of this for a while.
Sure.
Like when you're taking a photo, you cut out the background to superimpose it on. I mean, like that's a small AI that is using edge detection and figuring out, because you don't have to do anything, right?
Right.
You just push a button and it figures it out for you.
Okay.
And so, I mean, there's all sorts. I mean, like when, like even like using this mixing software, there's things where you can like have an auto de-esser where it, you kind of tell it basically the idea and then it goes through and fixes stuff for you.
Zach, you're the auto de-esser of this show.
You're a piece of shit.
Well, as a chef, for this is for all the chefs, when there becomes AI cooking, you kind of just type in what you want, and
It'd be like a 3D printer.
Yeah.
it'd be like a
Yeah.
3D.
Like Star Trek.
Is that going to offend you?
No. So I have a different perspective. So I've been learning a lot about the AI, and there's a big rift or big discussion in the art community because, I mean, this has the potential to displace lots of artists.
For sure.
And I mean, there's some questions about like, how fair is it that, it was trained on all these images that were, out in the internet and without permission and stuff. But like as a chef, I've never been able to copyright recipes. Like, I mean, we've talked about this. Like if I'm coming up with a dish for the show, I'll go online, look at all recipes and, scroll through their story and all the nonsense, but I never credit them. Like, like joke stealing's a big deal in the, the comedy, and I feel like stealing a beat or stealing somebody's lyrics, but like nobody owns food in the same way. We don't conceptualize it as that. So I mean, to answer your question, when machines can do my job, they can. It's called McDonald's. It's called freezer dinners. It's, there's plenty of that stuff, and it'll get eventually really good. It'll eventually get to where you can get a 5-star quality dinner from a machine that maybe came up with the creative concept as well. I mean, it seems to me, watching what this stuff has been able to do, that there's nothing precious about what we do that can't be replicated. That goes from your stand-up to your music to my food, but people will always. I mean, the availability of cheap food, quickly made, has not displaced me yet.
Right.
I mean, that can already happen. But
I feel like cyborgism is the answer, and I think that's the future, because you need human interaction for the emotion, and then team up with the AI. Yep. If it's just you can't do an AI Harder Brunch, that wouldn't make sense.
I want to see Zach go against a robot, like a brunch bot. Like you're like John Henry, and you're trying to.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Make the brunch out faster than the robot.
Yeah,
that's an event right there.
Yep,
I would love that.
Outcook the. We should like generate a recipe for like a menu that you make that the AI makes up for you, and then we'll do one that I make.
Oh my god!
I had the AI generate me some meat cake ideas. And they were wild, because I would say, hey, make me a meat cake with 3 different layers, and each layer is different than the one before it. So it would have some good ideas, but it didn't know how to put them all together. So it'd be like, make a meatloaf and then add a sushi cake on top of it, and then roast beef on top of that. I was like, that's horrendous.
That's that human element that it's missing, to glue it all together.
It's like, technically your answer's right, but that's gross.
Not right.
That's disgusting.
And then one day we'll do an AI off with like jokes.
Well, there
would be good.
There was something. So I was like goofing around, and I was like, I don't know, write me an article about like, why pet ownership is good for you, or cat ownership, and like use some scientific articles. And so then it like cited some studies, right? And, use them in its little article. I was like, all right, then fine, have it do this. Like, I want to have it write an article in the style of like, I don't know, Bon Appetit, about having a pizza night with your cat. Come up with a recipe that's food or cat safe. And then, and it did. Like, and then I double checked it. I searched all the ingredients. Like, are these ingredients okay for cats? And, it made like a tuna pizza or whatever. I was like, all right, that's pretty decent.
That's the other problem with AI, is that it will be confidently wrong.
It's like Thad.
Yeah.
Thad and AI are a lot alike.
Yeah.
Like you're this wrong, but you're this confident. Like, oh no,
I don't like this.
Moves around and makes you right.
All right, I don't like this.
Neither do we.
This is called online bullying right now. And
it's we are online and we're bullying. So you're right.
Do you think check are comedians, you think, using AI to write jokes? Is that a thing?
Some need to be, probably.
Like, there's got to be a hack out there that's like trying to do that.
Surely they are, though. Like that's the thing. I think it'll be I think it'll be really powerful for people who already know what they're doing. If you already can write jokes, then you can probably use that to accelerate your method. If you're already good at art, you can probably use that to accelerate and do new things. Yeah. Even with the art, like if you're doing it as a text-based like prompt sort of thing, then like knowing what pointillism is important, right? Knowing what the different art styles, like that actually gives you the ability to do different things in there that, I mean, absolutely they will. I got a, those like Facebook images that like 60-year-old people share around. It has like a picture of a baby or something like that. I saw one of those that got shared on a thread with my parents, my father-in-law. And, it was definitely AI generated. And I don't think he knew that. But if you zoom in on it, the feet look weird. There's uncanny things about it. So AI stuff's already circulating around.
For sure, the deep fake.
You're probably just not aware to what degree it is.
I say we do AI greeting cards for Christmas or different holidays. That's what I'm going to be starting. Sorry, fam, if you're watching this, it's a robot saying I love you, not me.
I'm eating brunch with my people, though. Homie Dak just cooked up a feast and we about to eat.